Hey everyone, this is Jasmine. I'm a Reiki practitioner and also a counselor in training. My Instagram handle is Mental Alchemist, and if you would like to find out more about me or what I do, I'm gonna leave my details below so you can check them out. I have been waiting and also studying for a very long time, and finally I can start to clock my counseling hours. It has been a really long journey. I have been through a lot of studying and been going through my own spiritual journey, because it's not just being about a good counselor with the right techniques, with the right skills and approaches, but to me it is important that me as a person has to be ready to guide, ready to support all of my clients and all of my future clients. So I am really glad that I'm finally where I am right now. So just to share a little bit about how I started my counseling journey, if you have watched my earlier videos or some of the podcast kind of videos where I did it with probably Tonya, I would have shared that I used to work in finance in a corporate job in the advertising industry, and I haven't actually been happy in any of those jobs. There are a lot of ups and downs. Sometimes of course it has its good times, sometimes it has its challenging times, but I guess mostly for me it's always that there is something missing. I'm unable to kind of put a finger on it, but it's always you know what, life is definitely more than this, and it always kind of push me towards searching exactly what is that thing that is missing. And of course, because of the job itself, I'm suffering from a lot of anxiety. Sometimes I go into this depressive state. In a way, I feel like I'm still functioning in my life, and in fact at that point of time I feel like the education or the understanding of what counseling is, especially from the people around me, be it my friends, my colleagues, or even my family, is unless your situation is really that bad that you really need to start to seek for support, that is the time that you should seek for counseling. And nobody actually said to me that, probably counseling can help you, support you to make your life better. Maybe it's about self-exploration and things like that. And I feel like most of the time what I understood from my own family is that money shouldn't be wasted on talking to people. Money shouldn't be wasted on, booking a counseling session, sitting with someone for 1 hour and just chatting, and you just hand them the money for nothing. I think this was how I had been taught my whole life. And there are things like, if you want to talk, go talk to your family members, go talk to your friends. And I think for me, how it all first started, because of this conditioning and beliefs about what counseling is, right? And I was like, you know what, I shouldn't spend money on this area. My money is better off maybe buying something tangible like a luxury bag, or having a good meal at a restaurant. Maybe that will perk me up. I don't have to see counseling. I think that was my mindset at that time. You know what, it's not that serious. I'm not yet ended up in the mental hospital and things like that. It's not that serious. I'm not seeing a proper doctor for this. Why should I waste money on that? That was the big belief on what counseling is for me. And because of this, right, what happened was, during the COVID times, while I was still working for my previous company, things were really bad for me. And eventually our company start to engage kind of counseling/coaching place that is complimentary for all staff, to start seeking counseling or coaching sessions from all of the available counselors or coaches. And I have to say, the curiosity got the better of me, and that is how I started my counseling journey. I have to say, it felt really different than just trying to call a friend and say hey, do you have time to listen to me? Can you offer a listening ear? And trying to talk to my mom, trying to talk to my father, or my brother. It's just different when somebody who actually goes to a proper school and they properly learn how to approach someone, how to really guide and support them and provide a safe space. I think that was the first time that I got pretty intrigued, because I feel I've been searching my whole life for somebody to provide me that space, and I just couldn't find anyone. It was so frustrating. I feel so stuck, and I kind of flare up at my friends, my family, or even my husband a couple of times, saying that, you know what, why why can't you just provide a safe space for me? Which is why the first experience was so therapeutic, so healing for me. And of course, it didn't stop there, because me being me, right? I just like, you know what? I feel like I hit a bottleneck. I wanted to explore further, and that is when I start to search for different kind of therapists, different kind of counseling session, different kind of base holder, in fact. And that is where I engaged my first somatic therapist with my own money, because through my first complimentary coaching / counselor provided by the company, I know how the kind of impact it can have on my life. And that was the moment I realized that this kind of money is worth investing. And I had been with my last somatic therapist for like a very, very long period of my life, and I have to say the whole experience is so healing, so therapeutic, it's so transformative that I feel like a lot of my internal world has changed. I feel like that was when I realized how important to have such support in our lives, be it whether you're a counselor or not, be it whether you're just like a normal person going on within your normal life. You can be really high functioning like I was. It can be like nobody can tell that you actually needed help. You still can function, but having that kind of support is gonna make such a difference in your life. And it's not even like temporary difference when you were getting the support. The support changes your internal world, kind of like even transform you into a different person, that it just feels more peaceful, feels more clarity, and yeah, and the list goes on. So yeah, I just want to share that because I am starting to clock counseling hours, I'm starting to see counseling clients in order for me to graduate from my postgrad diploma in counseling and psychology. I'm offering it at a very, very low rate at 20 Sing dollars per hour. I have been actually already holding space for people in my usual Reiki services, in my usual mental alchemy services. So why I'm offering it at such a short rate right now is because, first of all, I do have a deadline to clock all of the hours that is required for me to graduate. And second of all, I really want to encourage people, as how I myself has received complimentary support at the start. So if you haven't received any counseling before, if you haven't received some kind of like some form of talk therapy before, I would really, really encourage you to try. Receiving a token is because I myself need to pay for my school fee, pay for my own supervised hours. So it's actually, I'm not making any profit out of it for sure. So it's how I needed that little bit to support my own education, but also at the same time, I believe in energy exchange, like how I had said it in my previous energy exchange video, be it whether it is a really, really small token in exchange. Hopefully that you can take this counseling session seriously in order to make any kind of improvement, any kind of like transformation, or even receive any form of like healing and therapeutic space. So if you're interested, I'll encourage you to go to my Instagram and you can DM me, be it like to book a session straight away, or be it like you wanna like schedule a discovery call. I do pair this up with 15-minute Reiki as well, because I do see the benefit in it, which is the same as how I had helped all of my previous Reiki and Mental Alchemy session. And also the last thing I just want to share is that the Mental Alchemy, from now onwards, I will actually call it the actual name instead. So basically, Mental Alchemy is actually developed from this approach called active imagination, which is developed by Carl Jung, which was a very prestige and respectable psychologist from, I think, the late 1800s. So if you are just interested, I'm gonna put up the spelling of Carl Jung and active imagination, and you can go Google them as well. Active imagination will now be incorporated under my counseling services. So in a way, what I'm offering right now is equally effective. It's a lot more affordable to encourage you, give it a try, to receive the support for yourself, to see how transformative and healing the experience can be for you. Yeah, so basically it's still whatever I am doing right now, but even better, even more affordable. So yeah, I cannot wait to meet you. I can't wait to have these sessions with you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm probably gonna do a few more episodes, a few series about counseling and clarifying more of the misconception that I have heard that actually stopped people from receiving such such support in their life. But anyway, if you do have any questions, you can always write in to me. I will definitely address them, be it in our video or be it in our discovery call. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye bye.